For years, FEMA employees under Biden, they violated the Privacy Act of 1974 by collecting and storing records tied to protected speech. It contradicts what they said about it being kind of a one-off. Just a one-off deal. Don't worry about it. It was just a mistake made by a well-meaning person. Are you surprised, Charlie?
I'm going to say yes, because I thought the reasoning would be because FEMA's been pilfering for years, and they didn't have the money.
Well, I think that's why they're... So there's two different things. First, they're bad at their job as an agency, which makes them bad at responding to things. They just send money out willy-nilly, and fraudulent claims run wild. The people who clearly need it, you know, their paperwork's not in order. But if you're just looking to buy a Bugatti, you won't get them dollars. So on top of all the things they do poorly, they're not even looking to inform you about what you might be able to do if you have Trump stuff up or gun stuff up. Welcome to Loaded Talk. I am your congressman, the third most popular candidate to ever be. I am Frank, and along with me, as always...
What's up, Planet Earth? I'm Bean.
Yeah, I totally forgot the order of the congressman and the popularity, and I had no idea who I was for a minute. It was a mess. It was a mess. I'm falling apart, people. Speaking of falling apart, this country is barely holding itself together with these government shutdowns. Every day. It's just, I go to the fridge. I'd like to have some pickles. I like pickles. And, nope. There's just a note that says, sorry, government shutdown. No pickles. This weekend was the vibrant, the powerful No Kings protest. What do you think of the No Kings protest?
I mean, other than hearing about it, I didn't experience any of it.
And you were Viva-ing in Las Vegas, right?
Yep.
So Las Vegas, I know they got like where the people live, and then they have where the people go. I assume you were where the people go. Did they not go there for the No Kings?
If they were, I didn't see them.
Did you? And you walked around the strip and stuff a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I wonder where they did go. Because that's the thing. Like, so St. Pete, I took the kid like to go-karts. I had some things to do, so I was around different parts, and I didn't see anything either. And I just sort of assumed there wasn't one. But then last night I was at a leadership meeting for Pinellas Libertarians, and so this guy Eric was there, and he's like, "Oh, I went," and I guess it was by Tyrone. So it happened. He said it looked like there's a couple thousand people there, and I really liked his tactic, right? So he was there. He kind of had a fake ICE outfit on, like a balaclava, and he had a hat that said "nice" or like "nice agent" or whatever, and a shirt. But the shirt was "in qualified immunity," and so which qualified immunity, of course, is the kind of protection that cops get, where it limits what you can sue them for when they do their job, and it's one of those. It probably does need to go away. It does give them an extra protection, like a constitutional protection that they don't deserve. It's not. Anyway, it's a weird thing that the Back the Blues are never gonna undo. But what I liked about it is instead of focusing on whatever the message is, I mean, the message is we don't like Donald Trump. That's the only thing I can figure out. Like, Donald Trump's a king, and I don't like him. You go, okay. Thanks for letting me know. It was weird when that king left office for 4 years because he lost an election. The way it happens with most kings. But whatever. All right. You don't like him. I get it. Cool. Sounds good. Like, I'm fine with that. But I like that thought especially for like county affiliates of libertarian parties, not to get too in the weeds with that kind of stuff. But instead, like attending these things. So when you tend to be very like anarcho-libertarian leaning, there's a lot of times you're hanging out with people and they're either kind of like more Republican or more Democrat or what have you, and you don't necessarily agree with all their position. And they might have something and you go, I agree with that part of it. And then they say something, you go, well, you lost me there, you know? And so I find that often what I do in social situations, especially people I don't know that well, you know, people I know well, I just say all the crazy. But when I don't know, I'm getting to know them. I find the thing when they're talking about politics, I find the thing that I agree with within what they're trying to say, and I talk about that, but in sort of a liberty-minded perspective, where it's like, you're right about this part about it, and let me tell you some more about why you're right, and it probably didn't lead to anything, but it's one of those things where it takes the conversation in a different direction, where we're agreeing, but they don't know. I don't know. They have not yet thought about why the government's to blame. And then not just one side and not just one party, but all of them. So anyway, so what Eric did is he went to show up to this protest, but he wasn't just like, boo Donald Trump or anything. Everybody's doing that. That's kind of boring. He didn't have any of the AstroTurf signs paid for by people. Not John Q. Public. Anyway, so he was going around talking to people about ending qualified immunity. And I think that's a great tactic. I think county affiliates should do more of that, whether it's a Republican or Democrat rally or protest, show up. But show up with a specific point in mind that, whatever it is, but a specific point in mind to go, hey, let's talk about this kind of topic that maybe you haven't thought about, that we actually do need to do something about, and I think you people will be on board about this thing. It doesn't violate anything about this protest, but I don't think you thought about it yet. And so I really like that.
Like showing up not as a threat at all, basically, to the protesters.
Showing up as friendly, and you're not lying. It's like you're not going there and being like, psych, MAGA, It's just, you're going there and go like, hey, I see where you're coming from. Let's talk about this, So I really like that. I think that is something that like county affiliates, state affiliates should, especially county, should consider moving forward. Or Superfan Theodore thinks we should only focus on the county. Shout out Theodore and Rachel, Eric, LP, woo woo, woo woo. You'd also like Eric's lady friend. She was all about conspiracy theories.
Right on.
And I was like, what's your favorite one? I was like, I don't know. And then I thought it was Elvis being alive, but I think it might be Hitler escaping to Argentina. I think that one.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. Some of them did. He could have, maybe. I don't know. But some of them did. Have you seen the photos of like the swimming pool and art? There's a beautiful home, like hillside in Argentina with the swimming pool, and it's got a big swastika tiled into the middle of the pool. Like, God, the balls on this dude who is just like, well, I escaped all the war crimes. Now I shall have a nice tropical vacation the rest of my life. Like, and God, just pockets spilling out of all the heirlooms they had stolen from all the Jewish families and stuff. He's like, here's a shekel, build me a pool, put the swastika in the middle. But yeah, so the No Kings. It seems that people in the press and people on the left are very enamored with themselves. And I repeat myself with that. But they're very enamored with themselves. No Kings was hugely successful. 7 million people across the entire country. Which, divide by 50 is a little less impressive. And then when you look at the data kind of more specifically, you go, well, blue cities in blue states had killer turnouts, Manhattan, Chicago, Los Angeles. There might be some others in there. But, those places had like great turnouts where you have a huge Democratic, Seattle, or Portland, maybe both, probably both. But yeah, you have a huge Democrat voting bloc. You have a very supportive local and state government that goes, no Kings, rah, rah. and people came out in force. It was easy. They didn't have to drive far. But I think when you take the other, the red states or the purple states, I think, it was a fine little. No one got violent. No one burnt anything down. No one noticed. So it's over. Part of me thought, this is Thursday, part of me thought that by about Tuesday, Wednesday, they go, yeah, we can open the government up now. It's like we just couldn't do it before the protests because we got this big thing organized. Like, what we can do, open the government back up and then protest him shutting it down or something. But no, we're still closed. Still closed. Did you know they had funding for the No Kings protest, Charlie?
No.
Yeah. Who? If you had to think of some very non-oligarch, they're definitely not oligarchs, okay? That might have participated in the funding. What's a couple of very normal Joe Schmo type people that probably funded it? What do you think?
George is a normal name.
Well, he did. George Soros was a big part of it. Yeah, just normal, or maybe Alex these days. I forget. With the Soros brand came in heavy. So did the Ford Foundation.
I did read that.
Yeah, and there was were the Gates involved? I forget. There's a couple more like that. Oh, Rockefeller.
Yes.
Yeah, just the normal, not a king Rockefeller. Oh wait, which Anderson Cooper? Which family is he? Vanderbilts, right?
Yes.
I don't know that they have anything about it, but was it Rockefeller or Vanderbilts that? I think it was a Rockefeller, where he was getting so wealthy that they approached him, and they said, "Hey, man, your personal wealth is about to surpass the GDP of America. You need to start donating this, or the U.S. government might start seeing you as a threat to the country, and you probably don't want that." And he was like, "All right, what do I do?" There's like just libraries and just anything, museums, just come on. He's like, "All right." It's like the money keeps coming in. They go, just more libraries. I was like, okay. But anyway, so normal people like that, definitely not a king, definitely not a family. The Fords definitely don't have that much money. It's local family biz. Anyway, so they just mainly grassroots funding, like a Bernie Sanders vacation home. How many has he got now? He's got a few homes now. Every time he runs for something, he talks about how his funding is all, this many small donors that donated less than $50 or whatever. And I'm sure it's true. I'm sure that part's true. He does do good with the grassroots. But he does keep getting houses without getting income.
And a plane. I think he's got a plane now.
Surely he doesn't have a plane. Well,
I think he has a plane.
He just wrote a book, so he might be utilizing a plane without breaking rules if it's part of like his book promotion thing. Because he went on that big tour with the AOC. It was like the No Oligarchs rally tour, and he's been saying this no oligarch thing, which I agree we shouldn't have oligarchs. But he's been saying this line since he didn't look like. Well, no, he still looks like an old Muppet. But I don't know, 40 years, 50. It's hard to say how many years he's been saying.
He hasn't changed at all.
No, he hasn't. He has, except for the number of houses he has, and maybe planes. But yeah, now he's doing like the podcast tour to push his book. Whatever. Go get you another house. And don't be an oligarch. He's a weird guy. He's weird. It's Mamdani's, his homie now. This New York race is really, people are just really about this. And I don't know, the New York's had good mayors and bad mayors, and I don't, people talk about it because it's an important city and businesses are there. It hasn't really affected me, So we'll see. It's like part of, there's a big push of people trying to consolidate behind Cuomo. It's kind of the Stop Mamdani thing. And you go, well, Mamdani's kind of a communist and he's kind of a Islamist. And you go, yeah, that's true. And they go, so you should get behind Cuomo. You go, Well, I don't know about that. Like, he's kind of a corrupt politician that wants to be in there forever, and he killed a bunch of grandparents, and he likes to grab up on women and even seek out their gynecological medical records. So,
Wow.
yeah. It's just one of those, you know what you got in Cuomo. It ain't good. And then you go, well, I think we know what we got with Mom Donnie. You go, yeah, probably. It's probably not good either. And then there's old Curtis.
He's got interesting friends.
Who, Mom Donnie?
Yeah.
Outside of Bernie?
Yeah.
Tell me about his friends.
I believe his friend was involved with some controlled demolition.
Is he friends with like an imam or something?
I believe so.
Okay. Was he from like is he Uganda?
No idea.
Yeah, whatever. Uganda, be kidding me. Jesus. But then and then on stage, the third guy up there is Curtis Sliwa, who is most known for wearing the beret and stopping people from mugging people in the subway. What was he called? They weren't like the angel somethings. Yeah, back in before Giuliani, when things were kind of very bad in the subway and all that, and people were getting mugged all the time. He started up a group of people that basically just hung out in the subways and would just if they saw somebody about to steal a purse, they'd just go rough them up, bring them to the cops. But it was like guardian angels or something like that. But they all, the way you could identify them is they would wear the red beret, and they had kind of a uniform, sort of militant looking. But so you got this little group of kind of just tough dudes that would sit there and be, hey, not today, pal. And, which I mean,
Cool.
yeah, I got no complaints about it. But he's run for mayor a whole bunch. He doesn't win because he's Republican. And even the years that Republicans, well, I guess he just hadn't gotten out of the primaries in the years that the Republicans won. I don't even know if there was a Republican primary this year. No one ran. I mean, and then you have Republicans like Michael Bloomberg. You go, well, you seem to look a lot like a Democrat. But anyway, that race is happening. We'll see. Bernie's homies with them and trying to step all over. But last night they had a debate, and it was all guns were aimed at Mamdani, and they got him rattled. They got him basically not talking. He was trying. It's the last debate, so he doesn't want to ruin anything, and so he was trying not to take positions here and there, trying not to answer. He gave the appearance of flip-flopping some. I guess both Cuomo and Sliwa or whatever were hitting him with that a lot. Change of position again. You don't even know your position. And so they got him pretty good. Mamdani got Cuomo pretty good on his various scandals. And apparently Sliwa seemed like he was the best poised as far as policy goes. He got the most specifics in there. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's no one's dropping out, so I guess you just needed 34% to win, something like that. So I guess we'll see what happens. Anyway, all that means is I don't know if I'll be taking a vacation up there or not, depending if it turns into total chaos. All right. But there have been other things that have been happening. It's not just the excitement of No Kings. Everybody loves No Kings, of course. This is a fun... There's too many things happening on this screen. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What are these ads? Is this Daily Wire's doing? This is a Daily Wire article. Oh, no. I clicked on Liver Renew. Goodness. Oh, God. Why does she have so many spots? This is not what I want. Why? What am I doing? Okay. So here we go. Daily Wire article, who I guess has the most... Can you try clicking on that X?
Yeah, I'm going to go for it.
Thank God. Just watching this cartoon with Backney take a shower is so off-putting. Anyway. It's fine. Okay. Oh, that's right. The article. A bombshell DHS probe reveals a widespread political weaponization at Biden's FEMA. So, you remember back around the hurricanes, there's those things about the FEMA people going, oh, don't go to the houses that have Donald Trump signs. And they were like, oh, yeah, well, it was kind of one-off. Somebody was made a bad decision. You know, some people have been threatening, and, the Trump supporters don't like FEMA very much. And so it was just one of those things where it's like, well, watch out, and someone took it the wrong way. Well, let's see. DHS Privacy Office said that an investigation into FEMA found that the agency has been tracking the political beliefs of conservative disaster survivors since at least September 2021. So the entire basic hurricane season of Joe Biden's presidency. The probe was launched by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem in response to a Daily Wire report. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, after Milton is when they were told to avoid homes advertising Trump. Those instructions given by a FEMA employee named Marnie Washington, who was fired after the Daily Wire report. I have not gotten all my stuff in order. Here we go. Whatever. Lake Placid. It said to skip the homes of people with Trump yard signs or flags. And in response, Deanne Criswell, who led FEMA under Biden, claimed that the incident was isolated and did not reflect the agency's standard practices. Let's see. That's fine. It gets into it better here. Okay. Okay, so here's some different things that they were tracking in their system. Gun signage 72 times, Trump 15 times, firearms 5 times, political 3 times, Biden and NRA twice. There's also angry political rant was on one of them. I guess they talked to somebody and they got the business. And so they wrote angry political rant. A sign states, I'm a bitter gun owner clinging to my religion. Another one said, this is Trump country. We had some others up here, but I wanted to get the bulks. But yeah, they're Trump 2024, F Joe Biden, MAGA 2024, Joe Biden sucks. We do not recommend anyone visiting this location. There's a political flyer, so I didn't leave a FEMA brochure. So the federal government was withholding aid against Americans in crisis based on their political beliefs. Kristi Noem says, it should horrify everybody, like shooting a dog. For years, FEMA employees under Biden, blah, 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 intentionally did this. So, yeah, I guess they violated the Privacy Act of 1974 by collecting and storing records tied to protected speech. And, yeah. So, they're investigating it, and it's going to keep going from here. Yeah, it contradicts what they said about it being kind of a one-off. Just a one-off deal. Don't worry about it. It was just a mistake made by a well-meaning person. Are you surprised, Charlie?
I mean, actually, I'm going to say yes, because I thought the reasoning would be because FEMA's been pilfered for years, and they didn't have the money.
Well, I think that's why they're... So there's 2 different things. 3 things, maybe. They are... so first, they're bad at their job as an agency, which makes them bad at responding to things. In addition to being bad at responding to things, or one of the ways they respond poorly is they just send money out willy-nilly and fraudulent claims run wild. They give money all over the place, mainly the people who don't need it. The people who clearly need it, their paperwork's not in order. But if you're just looking to buy a Bugatti, you won't get them dollars. But then, so on top of all that, like this is just canvassing, so after hurricanes are a little bit easier than like what happened in North Carolina. Well, I guess North Carolina was a hurricane, but the results were just so different. But wildfires and like the stuff in North Carolina and the mountains and all that, that's a little bit more difficult. Whereas Florida, like once it goes away, it's just back to being a normal neighborhood. If it's not, totally wrecked like Andrew or like on one of the coastal towns. But yeah, so on top of all the things they do poorly, they're not even looking to inform you about what you might be able to do if you have Trump stuff up or gun stuff up. Which, I don't know. They've never knocked on my door. And I don't know if it... I mean, my neighborhood stays fine. But...
It's weird.
Yeah. In Orlando, I remember in Orlando for Charlie, we did have FEMA knock on the door, and they didn't know what they were doing. They said, "Hey, do you have any damage?" We go, well, we rent. They go, oh, okay, but none of your stuff was broken. I was like, well, we did have a pretty sweet tiki bar that like caught a tree. Actually, saved my roommate's life because the branch came in through the roof and almost went into his room, but stopped because the tree was resting on the tiki bar. He's like, well, hell, fill out some paperwork about it. And, you're 20 years old. You go, okay. Fill out the paperwork. Nothing came of it, of course, but we did waste time for this clogged bureaucracy thanks to the FEMA representative. But I think I wouldn't be shocked to see more of this. Believe it or not, Joe Biden wasn't fully in control during his presidency of his staff, his faculties, even his bowels. I love this story about him farting his first trip in front of like the princess or whatever, or the queen or whatever. I guess princess, which is he's at like the Vatican, just and old Kate, what's her face, was like, oh heavens. Anyway, so we laughed about Biden's gaffes. We laughed about how he clearly was suffering from dementia. But what that meant is you had a lot of his cabinet, a lot of his operatives, because we've talked about how, before the election, how it was harder and harder to get a meeting with them. You had to go through Jill, you had to go through Hunter. There's a couple people on the staff that they go, well, he runs everything, or she runs. But you had a bunch of activists, a lot of like true blue, some of them made their names under Obama, and they are like progressive activists, fundamentally change the country type people. And so now they have a way to do it with almost total cover, because they go, you might have a president go, don't do that. Like, that's going to be a scandal, and my face is going to be on it. Like, no, we're going to do it this way. If you don't have that guy, or if you just go, hey, you just blame it on the big guy. So I think we're going to find more things like this where within different agencies, people had a lot of things that we suspected were going on. I think we're going to find they were going on, and that they were operating as if they were never going to lose an election again. It's kind of how MAGA's operating right now. But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked, when they were going after parents, saying they're domestic terrorists for showing up at school board meetings, when they were tracking the Catholic Church, tracking anybody that goes to like a Latin mass, because this could be a sign of I don't know. I forget what they said it was. It's not a Christian nationalist, but something. It was some word. And they go, all right, well, if you go to Catholic mass, like you're a terrorist. So I think some of these made news and we're looking into it, but I think we're going to slowly see that they were really building a lot more than we even know about. Maybe somebody will even dig into the IRS and the scandal during the Tea Party days before Obama's reelection, when the IRS, if you filed to be a nonprofit or like a PAC or whatever, they slow rolled your application until after the election. If it was like Tea Party this, or, there's a lot of keywords where you're like clearly going to be trying to be a Tea Party small government political action committee to raise money in opposition to Obama. The IRS was just like, they go, oh, it's December now? You're approved. And so they just pushed out lots of people from having, their kind of protected speech be effective. I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if we see more of this. What do you think?
I just don't even know how FEMA is able to even dish out money, honestly. I'm just baffled that it has money left.
To be fair, it doesn't. Okay. Because we don't have money. We're 32 trillion in debt, whatever we're at now. So somewhere around before we get halfway through the year. So probably about like April or May or something. At that point, it's all on credit. It's all on credit. We're printing, we're borrowing. We don't have any of that. So, them having money is... It's like the government having money. Yeah, we got money. We got things.
And it's gone.
Yeah, we just bought all that Argentinian currency. It was a currency swap. Which, if Argentina's about to become more solvent and their peso is about to be worth more, then it could end up being something like, hey, look, we got it at a discount. Look how smart we are. But a big part of it was also to give the Argentinian economy some stability. Malay's been doing a lot of good stuff, but they have just been so far down that road that it's just inflation has been tough to rein in on a consistent basis. And so part of like holding more U.S. dollars is just as a government, they have more of a stable currency that they can use for international trade and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. We're just like, here you go. Give us some of your money. Like, here's our money. We keep making it worthless. Did you know our gold is still... So back when we had like the dollar pegged to gold, gold was to cost $35 an ounce. So we would hold gold at Fort Knox, assuming we still have any. But we go, okay, so for every ounce of gold, we have $35 in circulation. And that's how our money worked. It was just like, okay, every ounce of gold, $35 is out in
Perfect.
the thing. Yeah, no, it worked. It worked. And until we decided that was stupid, and we go, we'll just print it because full faith and strength of the U.S. government. But it's still like on our books. It's still valued at $35 an ounce. Yeah, it's. I don't really know what kind of benefit we would derive from giving it its actual spot value, or even put it at 3,500. 1,000 less than it's at right now, and obviously increasing whatever it is on paper by 1,000 would be good on a balance sheet. I don't know what it does for us as a nation. Maybe our credit rating or something. I don't know. It matters, but yeah, on our books we still have gold. The gold that we still have, we definitely still have because
pending audit.
Oh yeah, that audit of Fort Knox. That's definitely happening still.
It's just long, I guess. I don't know.
They'll get to it. They just need time to put enough gold in a room to make it look like there's a lot of gold in the room.
I'm just going to say the gold bars are heavy.
They are. Yeah, you got to move them. Yeah. And you go, all right. You look at one room, this room, just one room, but that room. And all the rooms look like that room. Like, hey, look at all that gold. It's like, oh, that's stamped weird. And these are weird stamps for gold you've been sitting on forever. Yeah, so I hear that's the problem with the Epstein files too, is they're stuck in Fort Knox behind all the gold.
Oh.
Yeah, so they can't get to it because all the gold's blocking it. So they got to move the gold first. So as soon as they move the gold out of the way, they can get the Epstein files out, and then they can let everybody see the gold at that point, because the gold is hiding other national secrets. So they got to wait to put the gold back. But like you said, the gold's heavy. And it's...
How did the Epstein files get behind the gold?
Ancient Chinese secret. Some of that Jew magic. Epstein wiggled his nose and it just went, boop, find the gold.
Yarmulke popped up.
Yeah. Anyway, serious business there. Okay, what do I want to talk about? Let's see. We can probably talk about both. We're still bombing boats. Oh wait, actually, what do we have over on this side of things? This is more bombing boats. That's more bombing boats. This is all about bombing boats. Yeah, so we're bombing boats. They are. Yeah, let's just watch our
Boats and hose.
Yeah, let's watch these hoes bomb a boat. Let's do that. Once again, this is from Venezuela. It's it's definitely a drug boat because they said so, and it's in international waters, and we're not currently at war with anyone. I don't think.
Officially, no.
We do have an authorization for use of force in the Middle East because we'll never turn that off. Not until they're all dead. But,
If the Middle East is the entire Earth.
yeah, that's sort of Western Middle East. It's like a Southwest Middle East. So anyway, here's we got this thing on. I guess there's probably no audio, but he goes, "Hello, I love the boat. Here I am." Oh, and they blew up.
They just got to it on flames.
I know, it's like, it gets all spotty and weird. I do not like this. I think at some point, this one, maybe it's a different. Oh, there it is. Look at all those packages. It's weird how it cuts to it like that. Isn't it weird how it just kind of cuts to all those packages? You go, hey, we're doing all right. It's like,
They're all collected together after an explosion?
I mean, I think with enough time, a lot of them would group together. I mean, that's, but then they'd move apart. All right.
Place the packages in the water.
I know. Well, you see those, like, reels where people, like, go up, come upon some floating Colombian fish. And you go, well, that seems like a good day on the water. About to get a lot better. All right, so that was another boat that was full of drugs. What does this guy say? This vessel, this is Hegseth, says this vessel was known by our intelligence to be involved in illicit narcotics smuggling. It was transiting along a known narco trafficking route. Real quick, I'm pretty sure you call that like shipping channels.
Right.
I mean, they're coming from Venezuela to America by way of like the Bahamas or something. Pretty sure they're just trying to make it in like a direct, fast way. That's what I would guess. Just being on a boat. You go, well, I know we gotta go that way for a long time. You go, all right, well, don't get too far off the coast, but yeah, let's go. So yeah, a known. It's the water. It's the water.
What's the unknown route?
Well, we don't know that. I guess the unknown route's when they use the submarines. All right, so it's carrying quote-unquote narcotics. 3 male narco-terrorists were aboard the vessel during the strike, which was conducted in international waters. All 3 terrorists were killed, and no U.S. forces were harmed. If U.S. forces got harmed in this weird... this missile strike from what? I don't know. Like, I mean, if somebody got hurt in this on our side, just hitting a button on the keyboard, that would be embarrassing.
A hangnail.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, I was like, well, we did have one injury. Give him a Purple Heart. These strikes will continue day after day. These are not simply drug runners. They are narco-terrorists bringing death and destruction to our cities. These DTOs, designated terrorist organization, are the quote-unquote Al-Qaeda of our hemisphere. There's nothing backing that up. And will not escape justice. We will find them and kill them until the threat of the American people is extinguished. There is nothing backing up. So, let's say that this is Tren de Aragua, right? And you say, all right, well, they're a vicious gang. Okay. And they do gang activity. And a lot of it's financed by selling drogas. You go, okay, I believe you. You go, all right. And what they do is they try and figure out ways to get drugs to America because it's a huge market. Because America, we love drugs. You go, okay, I believe that. They go, and sometimes they like to control the retail end of it. You know, maybe they start running especially in areas that already have a Hispanic population. Maybe they try and interject themselves in there and, kind of have their own retail stops that they set up. You go, okay, I believe that too. And then they plan 9/11. Oh, hold on. That's a stretch.
What do you think Al Qaeda say? Like, that's not us.
Like, hey,
A bunch of amateurs on a boat.
it's like, come on. Like, we strap the bombs to us. Like, we go, hey, you want some drugs? And when you come over, I would like, we blow up. I'm saying, that's what I would do if I was Al Qaeda. If I was a suicide bomber, you got to attract your people over. Okay, these are all the same things. All right, so that was that. Let's hear what old Trumpy Poo and Ruby Poo have to say about this. So they're being asked about it, and wherever they are in the White House here. Let's see. Trump is looking so serious.
Legal authority if they do come.
Yes, we do. We have legal authority, right? We're allowed to do that. And if we do by land, we may go back to Congress. But we have, this is a national security.
Real quick. We can do that. It's like, is this legal for you to do? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just say it. It doesn't matter.
I'm sorry. I didn't know I couldn't do that.
Dave.
Security problem. They killed 300,000 people last year. Drugs. These drugs coming in.
Drugs.
They killed 300,000
In general,
Americans
drugs.
last year. And that gives you legal authority. We have a national security
It gives you legal authority to missile strike boats in the water because drugs killed people.
This is wild.
I know it's stretching believability. Hey, hold on. So people are overdosing on heroin. So then what? We get to take
Their fault.
Yeah, we go, well, going back to Afghanistan. All right. And he goes, yeah, no, we can do it. And he goes, oh, yeah, if we have to go by land, we might go and talk to Congress. Yeah, we'll get back into that.
Really, I will have a national security. I will say this. When you look at the people we're dealing with, and we know them, we know the people coming in, we know the boats, we know everything else. We're allowed to do it. It's in
It's Pablo. We know who it is. It's Pablo.
international waters. If we don't do it, we're going to lose hundreds of thousands of people. Now, they'll be coming in by land a little bit more because they're not coming in by boat anymore. There are no boats in the water. There are no more boats. We know the boat almost immediately.
We got rid of all the boats.
No more boats. Campaign promise kept. I don't like boats. I don't like the water. No boats. Some poor guy is out there like, today I'm going fishing. I brought a couple of coconuts. No boats.
It's pretty unusual when you see somebody with a fishing rod and 5 engines on the back of the boat. You don't need that to go fishing. Wait.
This guy's never been to Crystal River, clearly. Like, do you need it? No. Do you see it all the time? Yeah. Yeah, people like big boats. Normally it's guys that have the skin pulled real tight. They've done well in their life, and now they want to bring girls out 20 years younger than they are while they're supplementing their testosterone. And they go, hey, man, this is it. I've worked all my life, got rid of the first couple of wives, and, we'll just see what happens. Look at all these engines on these boats. And I got my fishing poles, too, from bros. That's what I do, just bros and hoes. Just living life. That's what you can do with a successful dental practice, Charlie. Listen, I do dental implants. On the weekends, I like to unwind with some babes, brews, and bros with my fishing poles out on the river. All right, anyway, sorry.
Wait. And we will hit them very hard when they come in by land. And they haven't experienced that yet, but now we're totally prepared to do that. We'll probably go back to...
Unclear.
Our land?
They come.
If they're coming in by land, that would be on our land.
At some point.
But
You
we're
think?
gonna hit them hard on our own land.
We'll get back to it.
Congress and explain exactly what we're doing when we come to the land. We don't have to do that, but I think, Marco, I'd like to do that. You may respond to that.
Hold on. Wait. Real quick. It's like, we'll come to Congress when it's time to do that. Oh, but we don't have to. But I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it. I know you were saying we don't need to, Marco, but call me crazy. Let's talk to Congress.
I mean, the question is, bottom line, these are drug boats. If people want to stop seeing drug boats blow up, stop sending drugs to the United States.
But does it matter if it's
Whoa!
Well, these are all in international waters. The boat.
Could you do a strike in the United States or if North America?
Well, that's a different matter. Now you're talking about a law enforcement matter. In this particular case, there are people traveling on international waters headed towards the United States with hostilities in mind, which includes flooding our country with dangerous, deadly drugs. And they're going to be stopped. And that's what's happening.
What about the people that want the drugs? Are they? I mean, technically, yeah, they're being endangered, but it's hard to call them a victim.
I'm just baffled by all of this.
All right.
And in the case last week, you saw there was a submarine. It was a submarine. It was a submersible. That's a drug boat all the way through. We know what these boats are. The president just said it. We tracked them from the very beginning. We know who's on them, who they are, where they're coming from, what they have on them. If you're running drug boats, you're in grave danger.
And drug usage is way down, and drug usage coming from the sea, they call.
Oh no, yeah, we're about to get to some good stuff here. Drug usage down. I'd like to see any numbers on that. Any numbers. I don't believe. It's one thing if you want to say drug usage is down compared to, I don't know, peak opioid crisis. I go, okay, yeah, I think I can see that. Especially when you consider marijuana being like largely legal now, so that doesn't count towards drug usage. All right, since January though, I don't know. I don't think we have any numbers on that. Anyway, Donnie's about to tell us about. He's a sober guy. He doesn't do the drugs or do the drinking, but he knows a little bit about some of the slang. Here we go.
Ocean drugs, a little term that they use, the ocean drugs, is very close to non-existent right now.
The ocean.
I wouldn't want to be in one of those boats heading away. They're driving happily to destroy the lives of people, and that's the end of them. So the ocean drugs and the sea drugs by sea, they call it also, that's almost down to nothing, as you can imagine. So they continue to come in by land at a little bit less because they see something is going to happen. They don't like it. They see something, and they're right. Something very serious is going to happen. The equivalent of what's happening by sea. And we're going to Congress just to tell them what we're doing, just to keep them informed. But we have to do it for national security. We have to do it to save lives.
Okay. Whew. Ocean drugs, sea drugs, drugs by sea. Who doesn't every now and then like to partake in ocean drugs? Sebastian from The Little Mermaid. I think he was on ocean drugs by the sea. Drugs by the sea. Justin Amash, for what it's worth, does point out that the Constitution does not require the president to notify Congress. It requires the president to get permission from Congress. So you were hung up on this little concept of land. So they can't go by boat because they keep getting blown up. You imagine if they start flying with it.
Was that drugs by plane?
Drugs by air.
Drugs by air. Oh, air drugs.
Cloud drugs.
Cloud drugs.
Cloud drugs.
Wait, are they on the cloud?
Whoa. I was almost in a flow state from microdosing into the cloud, and you totally wrecked my flavor, man.
We should ask AWS about the cloud.
It lost that search query. It's crazy how that's like the second major crash they've had, or at least that. And I didn't realize that Signal relied on AWS. Ever since that one chick, she's got that name Moxie or she's become like the chair over there at the Signal, and what is her name? She's got a kind of funky name. I have not trusted her a day. She comes to us from the government. And you go, oh, cool. I think she comes from intelligence.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, you go, why the hell? Or somebody that used to, she either was in intelligence or her previous job involved, connecting with intelligence for another tech company. Either way, friendly relations with intelligence. You go, well, and people go, well, of course, Signal was largely financed by the CIA to get started. You go, all right, fine. We just can't have nice things. That's why I am inventing encrypted smoke signals. They'll look like smoke signals, to just the run-of-the-mill, average, everyday engine. They'll go, oh, I think the buffalo are running. But with special glasses, you'll be able to see that it actually says, I could go for a cheeseburger. It's just that.
Because you needed to encrypt that message.
Well, otherwise, everyone can see it. It's a looking for cloud drugs. My encrypted smoke screen signal. Anyway, okay. What the hell were we talking about?
Air drugs.
Air drugs, yes. Oh, land.
Land.
And okay, so yeah. So they blow them up by water. You imagine they can't blow up every plane? That would probably look bad. So you think probably they'll fly some drugs out of Venezuela. I'd probably stop at some other country along the way, change it into a different plane, maybe a commercial carrier, maybe one of these weird like DHL type people, or some franchise where you go, hey, shut up, here's a bag of cash.
Like a forwarder or something like that?
Something, yeah. Just get on a different plane. And that way, it's just harder to get shot out of the sky. Because I imagine if they take off over the water and fly towards the Bahamas, and right beforehand, they're just throwing in bales of, I guess cocaine? It's Venezuela. They don't...
Yeah.
I think fentanyl's a big thing. I think maybe because they're tight with China, maybe China's been like, hey, here's this fentanyl that we make. Go get them, Tiger. Because, fentanyl's super cheap. Or sodium or fentanyl. I forget now. It's like fentanyl sodium or sodium fentanyl. Anyway, the derivative that they sell that's slightly different than what's in, like if you're getting gassed before surgery, they might give you a little fentanyl, or if you're getting anesthetized, they might give you a little bit, but that's technically a little bit different than the fentanyl that's in the drugs. Anyway, super cheap, like super, super cheap. Pennies it costs. And so, you send it over to them for dollars. You made a lot of money. They send it over here for tens of dollars or whatever they sell it for. Everyone's happy until they blow up. But yeah, so I imagine you can't just like load bales of old Fenty. Those packages are big. That has to be coke or heroin or something. Like, it can't be. That'd be a lot of fentanyl. I wouldn't feel comfortable with it being packed like that. Like, just whatever you do, just as long as nothing snags it, you won't die. You go, what's that? You go, just be careful. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, if they can't go air and they can't go sea, well, they gotta go by ground, which you assume is some sort of vehicle. I have a hair tickling me somewhere. So yeah, when
I don't like that word.
When between Venezuela and America, when does the strike occur? Actually, hey, pull up a map real quick. Let's see if we can solve this. Yeah, new tabs. Just Google Maps this thing. Oh, you did a view.
My goodness.
You've ruined everything.
Get out of there.
This is
Not
why
a developer right now. Thank you.
This is why our show can't be on CNN. It's the only reason. All right. Yeah, let's just.
No, come on.
Okay.
We don't want to go back there.
So we got. Here we go. Venezuela. northern South American continent, right? Mm-hmm. Real quick hop to Puerto Rico. That's America. Dominican and all that kind of stuff. But you could get, like, that's the thing, like, obviously next door neighbors, Colombia. And,
Awkward.
yeah, I mean, a lot of coke has been brought out of Colombia is what I'm getting at. And you really only have 2 routes to go. You can go to the left of Cuba or between Cuba and Dominican Republic. I would imagine, I guess it depends on what you're going to do. And especially because, is that little chunk? Oh, that little chunk's Haiti. Yeah, so I guess it depends on what's happening in those sorts of countries that time. I mean, Cuba and Haiti, you're going to be able to bribe people.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think you really have to worry about being boarded, but it'd be inconvenient. The other side, you got Mexico also, of course. That's fine. But it's a wider strait there. Like, you can go between those. And then, whoop, you're right there. So, yeah, I personally would go west around Cuba and then go over to Miami. That's how I would do it. Anyway, that doesn't matter. So Venezuela is pretty much the same thing, except for maybe you cut between Puerto Rico and Dominican and cut around along the north side of the islands and kind of get up in there. Yeah. So that's that. That's the boat. Now by land. By land you leave. There you go. Okay. I'm going to go out through my friends in Colombia. Howdy, friends. And then we're going to go through Panama. And then you look at the Panama Canal. You go, oh, look at all these American soldiers here now. Like, I like the Chinese soldiers. They were happy to help me bring things to America. I could just bribe them. Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras. Probably skip El Salvador if you know it's good for you. Guatemala. And then, hello, you're in Mexico. And then from there, just an extremely long drive north. Yeah, so along this whole way, from the borders here to the border up here, where would the U.S. strike them, Charlie?
I mean, if I'm going based on recent actions, everybody's fair game.
Well, I think that's fair. I think, okay, so you're the Trump administration, and you're talking about essentially using some soldiers, probably. Hey, different window. Pull up, do a search for, I can do it over in or drag it on the other monitor so I didn't overdo this one. But what I want to find if we have any military bases in Central America, or where are military bases? That's okay. We'll pop it off here. So where in Central America our military bases are? Yeah, because you would think all right, you got El Salvador, but they're going to avoid that place. Then you got listed military. Let's see. That is Google. You're being stupid. What are Latin American with the most U.S. military bases?
Wow.
Oh, Colombia. Look at that. Oh, here we go. Oh, man, we got bases all over the place.
God, shut them down.
We're never going to now. All right, Southcom. Let's see.
Southcom.
They got everything's got a com. CENTCOM. Oh, here we go. There, we'll hop to this. All right, so major base, minor base.
Honduras for the win. Most
Really?
bases. And they have a major base.
Total local, likely, minor, major. Okay, yeah, Honduras would be a great one. Let's see what else we got. Panama. So okay, that was going to be. That's what I was going to go with, was Panama. Just to see if there's anything else that was more obvious. But yeah, Nicaragua's got a few. Okay. Guatemalan. I don't know that. What's a local base? I probably define it up here. All right, so yeah. So you're going through. Can you make the other map show back up?
Maybe.
I'll hop back here. Oh, and we'll hop back there. Okay. So yeah, that does make the most sense, especially now that we got like the Panama Canal kind of locked down. if we got all these bases somewhere, I mean, Panama's small. There's just not that much space. And we make a deal with the Panamanian government because why wouldn't they make a deal? We got bases. We got the canal. We built the damn canal. I think we're already doing something to grease the wheel down there anyway. But you just go, hey, all these nasty people are coming from Venezuela. You don't like them Venezuelans anyway. Who does, right? And they go, yeah, I guess. And you go, exactly. And so, I mean, what's it right here? Bloop, bloop. Where's the actual... Go away. That's Panama City. Anyway, whatever. I mean, that's the best choke point. It's just right here. You know? Just right near Panama City. There's not too many roads. And yeah, I guess you can just set up the military. And then you work with Panama. And I think Costa Rica had something. Nicaragua. Yeah, then Honduras. That was a shocking one. Yeah, so if you got Honduras too. And El Salvador, they're already on board, you know. But yeah, no, I think there's a lot of places along the way that they could intercept, get into a firefight, maybe.
Great.
Yeah, well, which sometimes you need air support. So yeah, we might turn the whole damn thing into a hot war. It'll be all right though. You'll like it. Anyway, so but that's the question. You go, huh? So yeah, on the ground. And then Marco Rubio goes, well, if it's in the country, that's a law enforcement issue. You go, all right, well, yeah. I mean, you're right. It sounds different than what that guy's saying, though. Like, that guy seems like he's saying something different than law enforcement. It sounds like airstrikes is what it sounds like. And
we're already blowing things up, and you're saying if it gets on our soil, it's just going to be a law enforcement matter. Okay.
Yeah. It's like, on land, we'll hit them on land. On our land, yeah, we'll call the cops. It'll be it. Yeah, we'll just call the cops. Here, let's let old Rand Paul weigh in on this to wrap things up. Got the thing that is driving me more crazy than anything is the way that MAGA people or MAGA bot farms, whatever it is, are going after Massey and Rand Paul, and they're just like, oh, they need to get out. You go, are you kidding me? Like, two of the most principled. Like, every time they vote or act in a way you don't like, they explain it with total honesty, and it's the most consistent thing. It's like, oh, yeah, you mean the way that they've always said they believed? Yeah, that's what you get out of them. You don't have, if you don't like it, that's fine. But if you're not in Kentucky, shut up. But it'd be like, we're going to primary these guys. Like, Trump's ridiculous. And like Massey, he would take anything that Trump wanted and he would submit it as a single issue bill. He goes, why don't we vote on this? Do the thing that Trump wanted. Here's another one. Here's another thing Trump wanted. Let's vote on that. And it would all get struck down. He's like, oh, this guy's in opposition to me. Yeah, how's this guy not? The guy that is trying to get all your things passed is in opposition to you? It's like, maybe he just hates the big government thing, which you ran on. Maybe he wants to destroy the swamp, which you ran on. Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's see what old Rand's got to say.
One of the interesting thing is one of the recent explosions.
Thank you. That guy right there, I think that's Stuart Varney or something Varney. That's like, my dad loves this guy. But
The interesting thing is one of the recent explosions, a bunch of the people on the boats died, but 2 people survived. Did we detain them and check them for drugs
Yes.
or drug residue? Did we gather the evidence
Yes,
from the
we did.
wreckage and then prosecute them?
Sure.
No, we just said, oh, well, we're going to send you back to your country. So I really think that you cannot have a policy where you just allege that someone is guilty of something and then kill them. The reason being that we interdict ships all the time off the coast of Miami, off the coast of California, and the Coast Guard statistics say that about 25% of the boats that we stop to search don't have any drugs. So if 1 out of 4 of the boats don't have drugs on them, you know, what kind of person would justify blowing up people when 1 out of 4 boats may well not have drugs on them?
So don't do it again. Is that the message?
Well, what the message is that, and this has been fought in the Senate, will be fought again next week, is you do get to kill people when you're at war.
So if we are to be at war, the Constitution says Congress has to vote for a declaration of war. I'm not for declaring war with Venezuela. I despise socialism, communism, authoritarianism, but I'm not in favor of starting a war with Venezuela. If you have a war, you can kill the enemy. If you don't have a war, you have international crime, and you have to treat it as such. And really, the seas, even in international waters, there have been rules of engagements for over a century, and they don't involve blowing people up without first asking them if they will allow to be boarded to be searched. One of the interesting thing is...
And why do you hate Donald Trump, Rand Paul? Why are you so unloyal, basically a socialistic Democrat?
Don't blow people up unless you ask permission.
Hey, don't you think we it's like one of those things like, look, if you want to blow people up, we got to go to war with them. Otherwise, what is it, a war crime? If it's not at war, is it a war crime still? I guess probably still. But it is one of those things you go, you really can't do that. You really can't do that. And he's right. I mean, granted, a lot of the Coast Guard non-drug ships are probably dummy ships sent there to just occupy the Coast Guard. That's what I would do if I was in the Al-Qaeda of the drug world. But, really, at the end of the day, we're kind of pooping all over old Trumpy and the boys right now. But at the end of the day, whatever objections you have to this sort of behavior, ultimately it does fall on being Trump's fault. But really, we have created this distorted system that allows him to do it. It allows Biden to monitor political adversaries during hurricanes and natural disasters. We've built this system that is perfectly ready to be corrupted and abused. The post 9/11 war mindset, it's 24 years now. 24 years. And we still have, the authorization of what the hell just happened to me?
Whoa.
Did my camera even move?
It just went like fisheye, like it was detecting something.
Whoa. Okay.
That is odd.
It is fisheye. Well, we're just going to wrap on fisheye. I'll make my summary quick, and then we'll figure out what the hell just happened. Woo! This is the LSD
I
segment.
wonder if the battery's heating up.
Maybe. Look, I got to aim down at my hand in order for it to look straight ahead.
It's slowly going back.
Is it?
Yeah.
Great. So this is going to end just on my crotch. But anyway, so the post 9/11, I can't stop watching it. It is going back. All right.
We have special effects, folks.
I know everyone's going to learn I don't wear pants during this. It's moving.
Wait, you don't wear pants?
I don't see how it moves like that. This is crazy. This is a stationary camera. Whatever. Okay, anyway. Post 9/11. Oh, you just... we've stretched what declaring war is so much that it doesn't resemble anything anymore. And it allows this sort of thing. This is freaking me out.
You hated on Donald Trump too much.
I know. They got me.
It just did it again.
Just did it again. Okay, we're going to go because I don't know. It's really hard to focus. Look at how much of this room you can see with it aimed in a totally different direction. This is wild. Okay, yeah. Anyway, they post 9/11, we screwed up everything when it comes to killing people. Now we can just kill people willy-nilly. This is just totally crazy. Okay, Charlie, why don't you say something with your camera that's not being weird?
Let's see, the Grok fact of the day. On October 23rd, 2001, Apple announced the first iPod, a portable music player that could hold 1,000 songs in your pocket, quote unquote, and went on to transform the music industry.
It'll never work. Never work. Look at it move. Okay. Follow us on YouTube and Rumble and whatever haunted sort of magic this is. The Spotify's too. Like, subscribe, hit the bells. Halloween. Oh, we got one more before that. Still spooky, still haunted, still counts. It's back. Let's end this. Bye.